Well, greetings and hello there, everybody. It's me, your beloved Star Wars dad, Nooch Too Good, and I'm here on my Lord Vader, my Nooch Vader account, my free-to-play account that I started 14 weeks ago, and I was able to relic up to Relic 5, Ahsoka Tano Snips, and also Jedi Knight Anakin Relic 5 on both of them. Let's go ahead and pop over here so you can see the Relic 5. There it is, Relic 5 on both Ahsoka and Anakin here at week 14, and some of you commented, holy cow, how do you get something done that fast? So I figured I'd come on here and I provide you 5 tips or 5 ways, 5 ideas for you of how you can relic characters quickly in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes free to play, or even not free to play, but how you can go about getting relic characters early on in the game for when you're playing it, but then just getting the relic factory really moving on your roster. So let's get started with those tips. Tip number 1, and this is probably the most important one, you got to get into a good guild right off the bat. You know, I'm not saying you've got to be in an end game guild, you know, immediately as soon as you start the game. But, you know, I have, I've had a couple videos out there about how to find a good guild right away in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. You can see that I'm in Awakening Hope. We're at 173 million. That is our guild right now. We are doing the Naboo raid. Honestly, if your guild's not doing the Naboo raid, you're probably in the wrong guild, unless you're in, you know, that Matt Masters free-to-play guild where you can only do free-to-play and they're testing out all the early raids. If you're not doing the most recent raid, you probably need to find a way to step up, and you can probably find a guild that does that. Again, I'm going to refer you to, we'll pop up a link up here to my how to find a guild video. I'll also pin it at the end of this message. If you look up Nooch Too Good, how to find a guild, you'll find both those videos probably, so you'll be able to find a guild that way. But you need to get into good guilds, so you're doing the battle for Naboo. I'll tell you why in a moment. Well, let's take a look at it right now. So the guild rewards for this, I think we're in the middle of doing it right. Oh, we're finalizing results right now. So our rewards, it's right here. You get the Mark 1 currency, you get the Mark 2 currency, you get the Mark 3 currency for the... I mean, this is a low-level box that we unlocked, 22 million. I had hardly anything to do. Actually, I had 0 to do with it. You can see I got 0 points here. A bunch of people in the guild all got 0 points. You see over there? But then a bunch of people here at the top are really crushing it. Thank you to Christian LB, Christian IB, Darth Milicris, Evil Anon, Crimson Wings, Seth Senpai, Blaze 13 Emperors, Big Brother, Absolute Zero, Nick Ola, Bat Family, Elusive Monk, Killer Monkey, Rupachu Reborn, Rooster, and you go, and it goes on. For the people carrying me in this, and you can find a guild that will carry you through this if you're going to do things that will benefit the guild in the meantime. So we're doing that raid, and we are also doing in territory battles. We're doing the Hoth territory battle for now. We had a vote last time. It was pretty close. We may start doing the light side territory battle, light side Geonosis territory battle soon, although, man, that's not that much fun is the problem. We're doing the dark side Geonosis territory battles. You've got to be in a guild that is doing these raids, doing the high-level raid, and doing territory battles and winning territory wars. We have not lost a territory war since I've been here. Thank you once again to my guild. And the reason is you're going to end up getting these guild activity tokens up here. We just saw those Mark 2, Mark 3, Mark 1. These go toward not only character shards, but they go toward gear. You see, Mark 3 goes toward your relicing gear to get characters relic. Your Mark 2 goes towards your Gear 12 finishers. This is how you finish off when you get a character to Gear 12, which is not all that hard. I'll show you that in a second. You use this Mark 2 currency here to purchase all this to finish off that Gear 12 and go to Relic on your characters. You need to be in a good guild that is accomplishing this. Down here is the Mark 1 currency that you use to take your characters to Gear 12, and you need to be in a good guild doing the raids, doing the territory battles, doing the territory wars to get you all the gear and rewards and Mark currency, and also your Get 1 and Get 2 currency. You got to be in a good guild. That is the first rule of relicking characters fast, and just relicking characters in general, and in general playing Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Get into a good guild. Again, stay tuned at the end. I'm going to pin the message. Look up Nooch Too Good, how to find a guild. You'll find those videos out there. Number 2, you've got to narrow your farming focus, man. You cannot be farming 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 teams and 2, 3, 4 fleets right off the bat or at any time of the game. Even on my main account that I got a lot going on right now, I narrow my farming focus to one team or one fleet at a time. Let's take a look at how I did that here. I was really focused in on my fleets. If you look at my ships and my fleets right now, I got my Endurance fleet going, I got my Editus Anakin Starfighter up to 7 stars. I got the Umbaran Starfighter to 7 stars. I got Ahsoka Starfighter to 7 stars. I got Clone Sergeant Starfighter to 7 stars. And I got Plo Koon and his Starfighter to 7 stars. And that is the crux. That is the basis of my fleets. Once I get the Houndstooth leveled up, I'll be using that, but I got to get these things level 85. I got these things at level 70 and 77 right now. I got to get these things up higher so I can start using them even better in my battles. So once I get these things all to 85, then I'll start leveling up the Houndstooth. That's going to go in the starting lineup. So I focused in on this fleet as my #1 thing to do. Did that mean I neglected other parts of my game? No, it didn't. If you take a look at the pilots for those, you know, I've got Ahsoka, Anakin, 5s. I got Plo Koon down here. He's at level 74. He's not even all that leveled up. So and Clone Sergeant's up here. He's at gear 11. I focused on those characters. Mace Windu at gear 10. I focused on those characters. I narrowed my farm to just those characters as my primary ones to gear up. But while I was doing that, I also was able, and by the way, I started before all the new stuff. You guys should be able to do this even faster now. I was also able to get up an Iden Versio team. I just got Range Trooper to 7 stars today. This is my Iden Versio Imperial Trooper team that I was able to gear up while I was doing my fleet and working on that, because you got to get an Imperial Trooper team for those assault battles. So that's my one team I was doing there. And then I was able to work on, I'm going to go to clones, not Bad Batch here, Clone Trooper. I was able to get my Bad Batch up. My, where is it? My Hunter, my Tech, Echo and Wrecker are still 6 stars right now, and Captain Rex. That was my focus. Those characters and those characters only. I had other characters going, well, I shouldn't say that. I also had Scoundrels going on because I had to focus on some Scoundrels for Credit Heist. I got my Scoundrels up to a level where I could max out Credit Heist, and that was good. Then I had to work on a little bit of Smuggler action. The Scoundrels and Smugglers kind of overlap, but Smugglers out there for Smuggler's Run in order so I can get my mods on Smuggler's Run, and I got it. Hondo carried me on that. I had it in my last weekly update video. I narrowed my focus, and when I got in and focused on those characters, when I started to see that Anakin and Ahsoka were coming around, I dialed in, and as Anakin and Ahsoka were the only characters that I added any gear to in the last couple of weeks. I'm just telling you, you've got to narrow your farming focus. You've got to dial in. When you see a character that's part of your primary farm, which for me was my fleets, is coming into focus and rounding out, you got to dial in on that character, and that's the only character you farm gear for while you're doing it. #3, hey man, let's focus on Kyro-Lite characters. That's characters that don't require a lot of Kyrotechs. We talk about Kyrotechs a lot on the channel. I want to talk about it a little bit more right here. If you are dialed in, well, let's say that I wanted to, I'd really focus in on my Bad Batch, and I wanted to make them my first teams to gear up. Well, that's nice. I like the Bad Batch. They're a great team. Especially early on, they're a tremendous team. They got a great ship, the Marauder, which I'm farming that as well. But let's talk about this. The Bad Batch each need 400 Kyrotechs. That's 400 there. That's 400 here. That's 400 here. And that's 400 here. That's 1,600 Kyrotechs to get that. And if I want just to do the 3 that are in the ship, which is Tech, Hunter, and Wrecker, that's 1,200 Kyrotechs. It's 400 each to get those guys relicked up. And to get them usable, I'd really need all of them to get relicked up, and to get their ship usable, which I don't have the Marauder ready to go anyway, I'd have to get at least 3 of them relicked up. Jedi Knight Anakin and Snips are old characters. They've been in the game from basically the very beginning. They only require 100 Kyrotechs each to take to relic levels. If you are going to focus on characters that are low-hanging fruit, that you can relic early in the game, focus on characters that only need 100 Kyrotechs and not 400, 300, whatever, 3, 4, 500 Kyrotechs to get them to relic levels. And I think that's so important to get these relic characters. And for me, in my fleet, I could also have done 5s in the Umbaran Starfighter, although he's not as valuable. Anakin and Ahsoka are the most valuable captains in there. Next, I'll be working on Bosk to go in my fleet, along with the Houndstooth. You can see I'm only 8 shards away from getting Bosk at 7 stars. I'll be gearing him up to relic levels as well to work in my fleet. Fleet Arena is so important, guys. Fleet Arena is so important. If I can get that Houndstooth in there, operating at maximal levels, we're going to see some good things happen. So dial in your farms. Another farm, I'm going to work on Boss, but I'm not quite ready for him yet because it's going to be a while. It's going to be a while before I have all these free ships at level 85. So Bosk is a little bit down the road for me. What I'm next going to be focusing on my roster is, where'd it go? I'm on the ships, that's why I can't find it, is my Imperial Trooper team. This is the team I'm going to invest in next. And why am I investing on these over the Bad Batch? Well, it's easy. There's only 100 Kyro-Techs required here. That's assuming I Relic. I might only take Range Trooper to gear 12. Snow Troopers the same way, Storm Troopers same way, Magma Troopers same way. They all require only 100 Kyro-Techs. Iden Versio is Kyro-Tech heavy, but that's one character as opposed to all 4 of them in the team. So this will be my next focus, my Imperial Trooper team. You gotta focus your farms. You gotta dial in and pick those Kyro-Lite characters and Kyro-Lite teams. If you're looking to get relics fast, that's the way to go. Hey man, you're gonna have to eventually focus on those heavy Kyro-Tech characters to get the things you want. To get the Galactic Legends, you've got to do the characters that need a bunch of Kyro-Techs. Like, who do we think of there? Like, Jedi. I don't know if Jedi Training Ray needs a bunch. I'm trying to think. I was trying to think of those guys. I don't know. Who are the characters in brain malfunction. Characters like Moff Gideon. Characters like Dark Trooper. They aren't required for Galactic Legends right now. You know what I'm talking about. I can't think of anybody. Gas needs a bunch of Kyro-Techs. There are characters that will need a lot of Kyro-Techs that you can focus on. Try to do those later in the game as you move forward, because you're going to have to do them at some point. But, you know, that's why we focus. That's why we look at the Executor a lot as an early farm. The only character in the Executor farm that requires a ton of Kyro-Techs is Piet. Everybody else is old. They only need 100 Kyro-Techs to get there. So something to keep in mind is farming those Kyro-Lite characters. Hey, number 4, do not overshard. Do not overshard. Do not go out and continue to farm team after team after team, sharding and sharding and sharding and getting like gazillions of characters up to 7 stars. And in the meantime, you're leaving your gear in the dust. I mean, I could have kept going to get Bosk up here, Echo and Wrecker before I did anything, get Jango Fett to 7 stars, L3, who I'm working on because I got to get the Lando's Falcon for the ship event. I can't remember what it's called. I got a bunch of characters 7 stars. I didn't 7-star Darth Vader. I didn't 7-star General Kenobi. You know, oversharding. This is very similar to focusing your farms. You dial in on the teams you want to upgrade, and when you get those teams of 7 stars, step back a little bit, and you need to assess. Should I start prepping my next farm by sharding for my future farms? You know, once I get Bad Batch of 7 stars, I've already got my Imperial Troopers at 7 stars. I've already got my fleet, my fleet crew members here at 7 stars. Is there another team I should be sharding right now? Like, down the road, I'm going to be working on, what am I going to be working on? Night Sisters, for example. Because I got to get all these assault battles because you guys are making me do that. Should I be sharding Old Daka and Asajj Ventress? Maybe these new guys will help me do it better. I don't know, but they're only single shards available. Should I be sharding for Marin right now and Mother Talzin? You know, the answer is no. The answer is just a flat out no. Because I am still like 2 or 3 months away from getting a fully Relic Imperial Trooper team, from getting my my entire fleet that I got right now up there to, and I'm not going to probably take them all to Relic, but I'll take Clone Sergeant to Gear 12. I'm going to take Clone 5 is already at Gear 12. I don't know if I can do Plo Koon or not. I'll have to get, I want to get Bosk Relic and stuff. That's going to take me a while to get that done. I do even want to do the, the Bad Batch because I'm actively farming. I'm actively farming the Marauder. And once I get the Marauder on my roster, right now it's at, and I gotta get to hard here. Once I get the Marauder on my roster, right now I've got it at 65 out of 8. It's not even active yet. But once I get it on my roster, get to 7 stars, which is still several months away, I'm gonna want to have Relic Bad Batch so that I'll have a Negotiator by then, and I can be banging out with all the top fleets in the game once I have a 7-star Marauder with Relic Bad Batch. So I am going to be relicing my Imperial Troopers. I am going to be relicing my Bad Batch as well. Those are my next 2 focuses, and my Bosk, like I said. And I don't think any more crew members until I get around to, Negotiator, which I got some shards for Negotiator right now. So I will have to eventually, I'm at 70 out of 145. I still got like 3 months left for that. I will need to eventually relic my General Kenobi as well to make that fleet work too. So focus on what you got, and when you are fully sharded, when you've got all the teams sharded, that it's got you filled, and it's going to take you several months to get all those guys relicked, don't overshard. Don't go and start, sharding or farming for other teams. Start farming the gear that you need for these characters. And that's going to kind of go along with our last piece of advice, farming Kyros and signal data. When you've got the teams fully sharded that are your priorities right now, and you know that you're going to dial in and get them geared up before you move on to other teams, it is time to start farming Kyros and signal data, Kyrotex and signal data. Let me show you what I mean. I'm here with 5s, okay? I've got 5s at gear 12. I'm coming in right now, because right now, let's go back up a little bit. I'm farming Echo and Bosk and Wrecker and Jango Fett every single day. Those are the characters that I'm farming every day with my regular energy at the moment, right now, okay? That's what I'm farming. Then I'm also farming L3, but I'm going to step away from that for a moment because, like I mentioned, I need that available for... I can't remember what that is called. The cargo event. Something like stolen cargo event or something like that, where you get really important ship materials. I'm trying to get Lando's Falcon up for that. I'll need L3 active to get Lando's Falcon active. I'm farming those smugglers. We'll go ahead and show you. I'm farming the cargo ships. So right now I've only got Slave 1 and Houndstooth being farmed. I'm farming Lando's Falcon. It's in my fleet currency there. I could also farm the Ghost of Phantom, but I'm not going to farm Phoenix on this account. I may go ahead and do the Even Hawk next. So we'll see. I got to get those cargo ships. Millennium Falcon will come into play as well. So what was I saying with that? So I will be farming. That's why I'm farming L3, but I'm going to step away from that today. But once you've got these teams farmed up, okay? Once you've got them farmed up, you need to dial in on Kyrotex. And if I'm going to recommend one Kyrotech that you need to farm with your regular energy, it's going to be these, your Shock Prod. I call them squids. They look like walkies. They're your light side Kyrotechs to farm. This is the one you should be farming with your regular energy. And why is that? Because it's got these. And these are what goes into your chromium blargers. Hold on a second. I can never remember these things. Bronziums. Those are required for bronzium wirings. And I know this is going, and we're kind of going in circles here, but when we look at bronzium wirings, right here, this piece right here, it's the most accessible, none of these other ones, you can't even farm the rest of these. You can't even farm them. Like, they're unfarmable. But when you look at these Mark V Fabritech data pads, they're available in that Kyrotech farm, the light side, squid, walkie, Kyrotech farm. So when you're farming Kyrotechs, you use this with your regular energy to farm them. I'm going to go ahead and do it right here. I got 13. I'm a few hours from payouts. I'm going to only do like 11 of them, save some for... See, I got 2 of my Kyrotechs and 16 of those. Now, where else are you going to find Kyrotechs? Well, this is important. Do not buy them with your Mark II currency ever, ever, never, never, ever, ever, ever. I said this in my gear farming guide. I'm sticking to it. You want to farm them in the Championship Ship Store. This is one way to look it up. I'll show you another way. When you're going through your shops, because you go through your shops, multiple times a day, down here in the Grand Arena store, the Grand Arena Championship Store, this is where you spend your Grand Arena currency right here. I got 406 of those tokens. Only Kyrotechs, nothing else. You're going to buy Kyrotechs right there. Farm your Kyrotechs there. And you can also, by the way, once you get your Negotiator and Malevolence completed, you can use your Mark II currency here, your Get 2 currency here to farm Kyrotechs. I'm not doing that right now because I'm still farming Negotiator. I need Negotiator on my roster. How did I get 5 Malevolence? Did I buy those early on? That would be bad. That'd be unfortunate if I did that. I don't feel like I earned them anywhere else. I don't know. Anywho, that's where you're going to get your Kyrotechs from farming and from your Grand Arena tokens as well. And then, once you've got all of your Cantina farms done, so you've got Cantina battles to do, and you've got characters to farm in Cantina. If you're out of Cantina characters for now, go and farm this signal data. You're going to need a truckload. The signal data requirements never end, never, ever. And every now and then, you'll get an Omicron to go along with it. Farm your signal data when you've got all of the Cantina characters farmed that you're going to need for a while. Again, do not overshard and just go farming characters because you can. Don't go do that. Step back and farm some signal data along with your Kyros with that Cantina energy. I'm going to go ahead and sim this. I got, like I said, my payouts here in a couple hours. We'll just do that and get myself 10 of the gray ones, the fragmented signal data, that and the green and the blue. When you've got all the characters you need for a while, and I'm going to go back to L3 for a while. I want to get her activated so I can make sure I'm doing something in that cargo heist or whatever it's called. When you've got all the characters you need and you've got the relic, you've got everything done, use your Cantina energy to farm the signal data. There's your 5 tips for farming, for getting characters relic quickly in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. 1 is get into a good guild. This is required. It is a must.
check out my video here. It'll be at the end of this video. Narrow your farming focus. You can't be going after many teams and many characters. One character at a time. Pick that one character and dial in till you get it done. Next, we're going to look at focusing on Kyro-Lite characters. If you're going to go after characters like Echo and Wrecker or Captain Rex that need 400 Kyrotechs, it's going to take you a lot longer to relic those characters. They're just going to take a lot longer to relic. There's no getting around it. Don't overshard if you got the teams farmed that you need for now, and it's going to take you a couple months to get everything up and running. 2, 3, 4 months to get everything up and fully relic. Step back and start farming your gear and Kyros and signal data with your energy, and that is how you get characters to relic quickly in Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, free to play or otherwise. Let me know what you think. Any more tips, put them in comments. We always get great tips from this community. Have a great day. I will talk to you soon, and always remember, Nooch too good.